All right, guys, so I'm going to explain here 1A from pre-intermediate level, and the book is English file. So this is a grammar bank, unit 1, and the 1A section, this is about word order in questions. Okay, let's get started. So here, word order in questions, how to make questions, how to put the words in the right order if I want to make questions. And as you can see, they divided this into two parts. The first part is questions with be and can, and then the second part is questions with do, does, did. And the biggest difference to know is that when we have be or can in our sentences, and if I want to make question from them, I'm not gonna use do or does or did. This is what we should know first, guys. Yeah. So again, in my sentence, if there are am, is, are, or can, we're not going to use do, does, did to make questions. For example, look, are you hungry? Are you hungry? The real word, the sentence of this is I am hungry, for example. You see, guys? You see, the sentence is I am hungry. I am hungry. So we have got here am, or I can play. So in this sentence, we have got can. So if I want to make question from them, I'm not going to get the help from do or does. So the first thing that we should know is if there is be or can in our sentence, and if I want to make question from them, we're not going to use do, does, did. For example, I am hungry. I am hungry. Or I can play football. You see, guys, in these sentences, we have got am, which is be, and then can, which is can. So if I want to make question, it will be, are you hungry? So I'm going to put the are at the beginning, and then you, which is the subject, and then hungry. See, are you hungry? If I want to make question with I can play football, you can say, can I play football? If I want, can I play football? Or we can also say, can you play football? Okay, so we've got can or am, is, are, was, where, which are be. You know, they are the forms of be. We're not going to do and does, right? Another way of explaining here is that we don't have something called infinitive. Something called infinitive. Look at that. We don't have this in be and can part. I mean, if you go through it here, we don't have infinitive. So when we don't have infinitive, then we should rely on be. And if we've got can in our sentence, we should use can, guys. Are you hungry? Is there a bank near here? Can I sit here? And obviously the question words, WH questions, all the time we will put at the very beginning if I want to use it. Even the second section also, look, you're going to put the question words first. And then because we have got infinitives here, look, live, have, work, start, talk, they are infinitive. Or we can also use like verb one, that means the first form of a verb. It's a dictionary word. We say like it's a root verb, the root verb, this infinitive. So when we have got these verbs, main verbs, live, have, work, etc., then we're going to use something called auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs, they are help. Auxiliary, it means help. Helping verbs. Helping for what? To make grammar structures, to make questions. That's why if I don't have the question word, I start with do, did, does. And then I put the subject. I put the subject. Do you? Or did you? Or does your sister? Your sister is she. So if it's she or he or it, we use does, obviously. And then after that, we put the infinitive. Like, do you live with your parents? Did you have a holiday last year? And if I want to use the question word here, always comes at first. Where does your sister work? When did you start English? What did they talk about? And so on. Right? So again, here they're explaining she is a teacher. So to make the question, because we have got be here, is, it has to come before the subject. Is she a teacher? He can drive. Can comes before the subject. Can he drive? Right. As I said, if it's infinitive, we're going to use do, does, did. If you would like to remember, try to remember the formula, because some students, they like to remember it through formulas. So here they're giving you formula of how to do it for the second part. So you can memorize like ASI if you want. This without question word. So A stands for auxiliary, S stands for subject, and I stands for infinitive. So ASI, you can say ASI maybe. And quasi, this is a question word, auxiliary, subject, and infinitive. This is another way of learning it. So we're going to work on exercises now. So 1A, so we're going to remove, so here let's remove B part to have some space for writing. And I'm going to remove this picture as well. So A is asking us to put the words or phrase in the correct place in the question, right? We're going to do that. That's no problem. Yeah. So the first one, where we park, we need to use the can, right? So to use that, question word always comes first, where. Now what we here is subject. If I want to make question, I must use can before the subject. So can we? Where can we park? You see, guys? Where can we park? So we're going to put it somewhere here. And now number two, how are you old? So we need to use the old somewhere. So it will be how old, because this is a part of question word, right? So how old? How old are you? Okay, just number two. How old are you is done. Number three. Now the class does finish at 8. So here, look, does is the auxiliary. Does is the auxiliary. Finish is the infinitive. And at 8, this is the adverb side, it's time. So the class here, subject is missing, guys. Subject is missing. So I'm going to put the subject between auxiliary and the infinitive. So does the class finish? Okay, let's write it down here. Does the class finish at 8? Here you go. That's it. Does the class finish at 8? Number 4, where do your friends? And then the brackets, leave. Leave, obviously, this is a verb. It's infinitive. So infinitive comes after subject in questions, right? We have got the question word here. Where is the question word? And then do is the auxiliary. Your friend is subject. So obviously, we're going to put at the very end. So let's do that. Number 4, where do your friends, because your friends means they, right? Subject. Where do your friends live and question mark. That's it. Number 5, why you answer my email. So we got here didn't is the auxiliary. Why is the question word? Why is the question word? And you is the subject. Answer is infinitive. So in question auxiliary, we must put before subject. So it will be why didn't you answer my email? Okay, we'll write it down now. Why didn't you answer my email? You see, guys, writing in full sentences is the best way of learning any language from my point of view. When you write, you learn better, guys. Why didn't you answer my email? Because some students, they don't want to write because they're lazy. They say that they are learning without writing, fast. Everything has to be fast, but they are mistaken. Number 6, do you often to the cinema? So go is the infinitive, right? So do you often, so I need to put here after often go. Do you often go to the cinema? Number 6, Do you often go to the cinema? That's it. Do you often go to the cinema? Number 7. No, here does. Number 7, we need to use does somewhere. Does is auxiliary. What is the question word? So it will definitely come after what. And when you look at the formula the formula that we've seen earlier, and this word is a subject, so does has to come before subject. So what does this word mean? Right? What does this word mean? Number 7. What does this word mean? Great, that's done. Number 8, what time did arrive? Your friends. Your friends is subject here. So what time did your friends arrive? We will write it. What time, this is a question word, did your friends arrive? There you go. Number 9. This is to. To is a preposition. Preposition, usually they are attached to some verbs or some adjectives, right? So here, talk to, speak to. Always they come together. So who are you talking to? Number 9. Who are you talking to? Number 10. Where were last night? So you is the subject here. Subject. So we're going to put the subject before last night. So where were you? Number 10. So where, that is the question word. Where, this is the be, which is auxiliary. Where were, and then you put the subject. Where were you last night? That's it. That's it, guys. Now exercise A is complete. So I'm going to remove everything, and then we start tackling the B part. So let's remove that. There you go. So to do the B part, now I'm going to remove A part to open some space so that we can write it down. There you go. Nice. So B is asking us to put the words in the correct order to make a proper questions, right? So we can do that. We're going to start. Number 1. I mean, the example is done. You live where do. It will be where do you live. Number 1 here. You do have car. As you can see, you do have car. Number 1. So we don't have question word here. So definitely we're going to start with auxiliary here, right? So number 1. So do is the auxiliary. And after auxiliary, I must use subject. Where is the subject? You is the subject. Do you. Do you. So like when I say do you, after do, when I say do, does, did, I must have infinitive, right? So where is the infinitive here? Have is the infinitive. So do you have? Do you have a car? You see? Do you have a car? I'm just going to put it here like that. Number 2, was brother your were born? So the question word here is where. We have got the question word. So without even thinking, it will be first. Always. So where. And then your brother, this is together. This is subject, your brother. Where, your brother. And obviously, we got was. So was or where in question, they come right after the question word. So where was your brother born? Okay, so we're going to write it down. Number 2, where was your brother born? That's it. Where was your brother born? Number 3, so we've got here often, he, how, phone, does, you. So we've got here question how, and it's actually question what is how often, right? How often. And then we must use the auxiliary, which is does. How often does, and then who, subject. How often does he? When I say does, so I'm talking about he, she, it. So definitely he here. How often does he? Now I must use infinitive because I'm using does. So infinitive is phone here. Phone can be noun or it can be verb as well. So here it's coming as verb. So how often does he phone you? Number 3. How often does he phone you? That's it. How often does he phone you? Number 4 here. Their time arrived does flight what? So question word, we got what? Time. This is the question word. What time? After question word, I must use auxiliary. Does is the auxiliary. What time does? Now I must use subject. What time does what? What time does their flight? Now I must use infinitive, arrive. Okay. So number 4, what time does their flight arrive? There you go. So that's done. Number 5, Brazil from is girlfriend your. So we don't have question word here. WH question like when, what, why. We don't have it. So we got is. So we're going to start with is. After is, we must use subject. Is what? Or is who? Is girlfriend. So your girlfriend, yeah? Because your always comes with noun, guys. Your or my, their always comes with noun. So what is your girlfriend from Brazil? Number 5. Is your girlfriend from Brazil? Okay, that's done. Number 6. Languages, how you many can speak. So again, we got here question word, how many. Question word, how many. And then as you can see, we don't have do, does, but we got can. So when we have can, we don't need do or does or did. So how many what? How many languages? So sometimes question words can be long, guys. Question words like how many languages or how many brothers, how many sisters, and so on. How many languages? And then can. After can, we must use subject. Can you? And then infinitive speak. Number 6. How many languages can you speak? That's it. How many languages can you speak? Obviously, this is number 6. Number 7. Party the how was. We got the question word, how. And then we use auxiliary. How was the party? So that's easy. Number 7. How was the party? How was the party? Number 8. Last go where your summer did. So where, question word. Did, auxiliary. Where did, and then subject. Where did you? Where did you? And we use infinitive. Where did you go? When? Last summer. Where did you go last summer? Number 8. Where did you go last summer? Okay, that's done. Number 9. Their doctor here is a. So we don't have the question word. So we're going to start with is there. Number 9. Is there what? A doctor. Is there a doctor here? That's it. Is there a doctor here? Last one, number 10. Come bus to you by school did. So we don't have the question word. So we're going to start with did. And after auxiliary did, I must use subject. The subject is you. Did you? After did you, I must use infinitive, which is verb. So did you come? Did you come? Did you come where? Did you come to school? How? By bus. So I'm asking that. Number 10. Did you come here? Sorry. Did you come to school by bus? Did you come to school by bus? Okay. So that's it. Now, in this way, we've completed 1A exercise. And the next video, we'll continue with 1B. So thanks for your time, guys. Yeah. See you again. Bye-bye.